Welcome everyone to the February 11th Lower Southampton Township Board of Supervisors meeting. In a moment, I'm going to ask everybody to stand for the pledge, but after we stand for the pledge, I'd like to ask everybody to remain standing for a moment of silence. Most of us here know a young gentleman by the name of Kevin Kirk who's worked for the township for many years. His mother, Dorothy, had just passed away. So this is a tragedy for the entire Kirk family. Our condolences go out to the entire Kirk family, so if we could just remain standing after the pledge for that moment of silence. We can all stand now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, everyone. Alrighty, so the Board of Supervisors held an executive session at 5:30 where we had discussed PBA contract talks and we also discussed litigation with Federation Housing. The Board of Supervisors also held a workshop at 6:38 where we had invited Mr. Michael Solomon from the EH Planning Group to give an update on a presentation and updates on some much-needed renovations to our ordinances. Mr. Everett spoke about a drainage evaluation for the township. He also spoke about a grant application to help fund projects throughout the township. He spoke about a slope stabilization project over at the Stonemore property. He spoke about turnpike runoff contributing greatly to a lot of low-lying areas that are experiencing, unusual flooding issues. He also spoke about a sanitary repair on Trevose Road and who may be responsible for paying for it. And lastly, Mr. Everett spoke about an RFP to prepare contract documents and plans for the Green Light Go project. Mr. Mulholland spoke about the Feasterville Businessmen's Association having an Easter egg hunt. He spoke about holding concert dates at our Lower Southampton Township Veterans Park in the future. He spoke about having a grand opening event over there at the Lower Southampton Veterans Park. He spoke about some updates over at Russell Elliott Park, and he also spoke about creating a e-bike policy for our township parks. Mr. Coppin spoke about a striping project on Street Road in Philmont. He also spoke about the purchase and installation of a grinder pump at the Page Court pumping station. Mr. Italia had spoke about agenda item number 6, updating the 2021 International Fire Code and the 2021 International Property Maintenance Code. Our Chief of Police spoke about agenda item number 7, updating the Emergency Operations Plan, and Mr. Ryan gave us an update on a liquid fuels report, and he also spoke about many other reports. At this time, I would like to open the floor to public comment. As always, we do 3 minutes. Public comment is for non-agenda items. Now, we do have some agenda items here tonight that I'm sure there's people from the public would like to talk about. Everybody will be given the opportunity when we hit these agenda items to speak. But if anybody right now would just like to come up and speak about...
You want to tell them that
Yeah.
Brownsville words off.
Right. Yeah. So if anybody would like to come up right now for non-agenda items, feel free.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Chrysanthus, how are you, sir?
No, had better days, but I love this heat spell we're in.
Man, it's very efficient.
Well, 12-letter last name was always last to spell in class. Hi. A couple weeks ago, we had an audience member speak, Jim Cates, about the ice situation in Minnesota. I'm going to give a different perspective. The this country is going, is very divided. And it's a shame that we have politicians on the left that don't want to follow some of the deportation rules for ICE. Yeah, they have people in prison. Minnesota has approximately 1,300 prisoners that could, in prison, that could be deported, and they don't want to give them up. So what happens? They go back into the community. And when they go back into the community, ICE goes after them. It's almost as if Governor Waltz and Mayor Fry wanted something to happen with ICE. ICE is not trained for crowd control. In all the altercations, the police were not available. In fact, the mayor had a stand-down order. They're not supposed to help. So what happens? They have rhetoric. They called them the Gestapo, Nazis, whatever. Emotional people started acting up, and bad mistakes were made on both sides. Governor Waltz and Mayor Fry bear a lot of responsibility on these actions by their people. Instead of looking out for them, they played politics over policy. And that you see that a lot in this country. That you'll see, no, Trump did it, bad. You know, I'm not voting for it, no matter how good it is. I don't see how anyone who lives in Minneapolis would be against them deporting rapists, murderers, drug dealers. I just find it absurd. And then it's going to come out that it seems that these rioters, or protesters, depending on how you look at it, are being funded by foreign sources. So one might be George Soros, could be an American billionaire in China. When that occurs, I wonder how the people will react. You know, so we need to settle the rhetoric. You can't call people Nazis and expect no violence. And I wish they would just settle down. And I doubt that will happen, but I still have hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chrysanthus. Anybody else out there tonight for public comment? All right, yes, sir. If you could state your name, your address, if you could put it in our logbook, and as always, we have a 3-minute time limit, sir.
Yes, my name is Charles Gillette. I live at the intersection of Winding Lane and County Line. I've lived there since the 80s. I spent 20 years in the Marine Corps. We moved to this township because of the township. When I was gone, everyone here took care of my family, and I appreciate that. So I'm a big fan of yours. However, over the years, it's gotten to the point I get no peace of life over here. At 5 o'clock every morning, I have tractor trailers going down County Line, vibrating my house. These cars that have they're set up to backfire, start out at about 8 o'clock at night and go down. They think it's funny. I would just like to know what I can do. I've never gone to the township for anything, but I'm coming. And the police departments did a great job. I think it was a year ago. They had the portable speed sign. It stopped as soon as that trailer was out there. When the battery went down and they moved it, it was right back. 2 days ago, the township had a vehicle in the passing lane, stopped. It was, again, a 35 mile an hour. The traffic down County Line, I've measured with a decibel meter, exceeds 100 decibels on a regular basis. If I can get a petition, whatever I can do to resolve the issue, I would really appreciate it.
Mr. Gillette, first off, thank you for your service to this country. Thank you for showing up here tonight. You know, we generally try to do everything we can for our residents. I know our chief of police is hearing this. Chief, if there's any way we can do more out there along County Line Road, I know, there's only, the resources are only so much, but as, as he said, the flashing speed limit, is that what you had said?
There was a trailer that did the job, and then I think they put a light up on the pole, like the one they have on Bustleton. It has the white lights around it, says speed limit 35. It works on
It helps.
Bustleton.
It helps.
Maybe it would work on County Line.
We can make that happen. Just give us a couple months. Okay?
And the lieutenant that came last year, really a gentleman. I love this township.
Thank you. We appreciate
I have to
that.
get someone else to complain. I can't do that.
Thank you, Mr. Gillette. Thank you so much. All right, anybody else out there tonight for public comment? Seeing none? All right, we will now move on to the consent agenda, line item 1. A, approval of minutes, January 28th, 2026. B, approval of accounts payable, February 11th, 2026. C, approval of certain recurring monthly bills, February 11th, 2026. D, approval of professional escrow release for the Brownsville Property Development LLC, 1804 Brownsville Road, for the amount of $4,672.20. And E, approval of the annual donation of $1,500 to the Tri-County Band. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve tonight's consent agenda.
All right, very good, thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Bowman. Any discussion from the board? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, that motion carries. All right, line item 2, I'm sure there's some people here that are in the crowd. A few hours ago, I received an email from the applicant. The applicant is going to withdraw they're going to withdraw the zoning hearing board application and revisit potential alternatives at a different time. So as of right now, line item 2 is being taken off the agenda.
Can you tell me where that is exactly on Brownsville Road? Is that diagonal from Brewster's? Here, I have some of those.
That is, it is along, when you pass Brewster's, you have Avenue C right there.
Right.
You make the right or the left, depending on which direction you're coming from, and it's basically the parking lot there on the left-hand side.
Right behind.
So we have nothing more in regards to that application right now. All right. Now, if the board would allow me, I would like to move up, because this is probably another topic. I would like to move line item 8 to where line item 2 was, which is consider options regarding the Federation housing litigation. Mr. Dillon, sir, if you could start off.
Yes, this board had a conditional use hearing several years ago. The decision was appealed to the Court of Common Pleas, and it was upheld. It was appealed to the Commonwealth Court, was upheld. A new application has been submitted by the applicant addressing some of the concerns that were raised by the Commonwealth Court. We're required to schedule a hearing within 60 days of receipt of the application. I've made certain suggestions to the board, and I think the chair might have a motion in mind.
I think at this time, it would be appropriate to make a motion. I'd like to make the motion to appoint Grimm, Bean, and Thatcher to represent the township to oppose the application for conditional use. At this time, there's a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? And that also means the board first, and if anybody in the public would like to comment on this as well. So we'll start with the board. Any discussion from the board?
I just want to add some commentary. Actually, I would like our solicitor to add some commentary. The decision of the Commonwealth Court was only found for the township, but they only decided on one issue and one issue only. Can you just go into some detail on what the court said about that? One of the multiple issues that we raised.
Well, it's almost singular finding was that they didn't have the required rental or office space for rent to the public or as required by the ordinance. And for that reason, they upheld the decision of this board denying the application. The specific language, however, to qualify for approval of this conditional use, an apartment building must include 20% of the first floor street frontage as office or retail uses. They had proposed using it as a rental office for their facility. The Commonwealth Court found that that wasn't satisfactory and therefore upheld the decision of this board.
Thank you.
Any other discussion from the board members first? All right, seeing none, if anybody from the public would like to come up, use the microphone if you have any questions or concerns in regards to this. Mr. Chrysanthus?
So what you're saying, Solicitor, is that if they change the office to meet the specifications, it would be accepted?
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying we're required to have a full hearing. I'm sure they're going to address that concern. There were other concerns raised, whether after a hearing they're substantial enough to, no, this board then has to rule on the application. This application is only for a conditional use. It's not for development of the property. So a conditional use is a permitted use subject to certain, if you meet certain criteria. So they have to present testimony showing whether or not they can meet the requirement of the conditional use.
Okay, thank you.
Question, Steve Eversole, Clearview Avenue. So you said you're going to hire a legal team or something you were saying was?
So the conflict solicitor is going to, as the motion is to appoint them to oppose the application.
So the board right now would be opposing it through the legal,
Correct.
this team?
They're representing the township. This
Representing-
board is acting as the trier of fact.
Okay.
That's specific language that I have to use.
Yeah. So, okay, I get the gist of it though. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Feel free.
I just wanted to make it clear that, so, yes, we're appointing Grim Thatcher to represent us, and there will be a public hearing held here with that representation.
And they are the same ones that did the appeal.
Yeah, and they're also the ones that worked on the appeal.
All right.
And what's that timeframe for that?
It has to be within 60 days from submission of the application, which was last week, so it'll be in the next 50 days or so.
Will that take place at a supervisors meeting?
Yes.
So we're looking at week in May, first week in May. That's 2 months.
It'll be advertised when it occurs.
All right. Any other discussion from the public?
I have a question.
Please come up. How are you, Mr. Smith? Good to see you.
I'm well. Great job, everybody. Thank you. My name is Gary Smith. I live on Avenue B. I have a question. As far as the hiring a legal team to do this, what other leg do we have to stand on other than what you're saying was the 20% occupancy of a business or something? What other legal leg do we have to stand on to hire this team? Does anybody know that?
There's going to be testimony. Someone's been hired to cross-examine that testimony, and the public has the right to participate. Some people, you can require party status if you so choose, which gives you the right to ask questions, but they're going to present evidence, and you have the right to present evidence.
Okay, so like that's my question, is what, other than this 20% thing that the county had this thing stand on, right? Where else can we fight this? Because
that's
nobody here is,
That's what the hearing's for.
That's what the hearing's for, that's what the attorney's appointed for, to raise the concerns that are available under the terms of the ordinance.
okay.
I want
So-
you to understand that in this setting, and the solicitor can confirm this, the board sits as a quasi-judicial board. So if we don't follow the procedures properly,
Right.
that could be an issue.
Right.
So, other than us acting as the Board of Supervisors, we will not. We'll be acting as a quasi-judicial board in this hearing to determine whether or not we will then oppose it. We can't decide that we're opposing it before they present it.
Right, okay, I get that.
Okay.
I get that. All right, so after all is said and done, where is there something else that we can stand on as far as fighting them coming in to the, and putting them?
It's zoning, it's a usage, and they check all the boxes. Somebody has to plead a case saying there's extra outstanding ordinary issues that aren't being taken into consideration. But as far as a checklist, they're checking all the boxes.
They're checking all the boxes, right. I
So
get
it's like
that.
when you go to your punch list at work,
Right.
and it's all checked,
Right.
and somebody tries to tell you can't,
Right.
you got to figure out how to do it.
They're checking all the boxes, and there's no other leg that we have to stand on. We just have to allow them to come in.
Can I say something? That's something, if you have information that is pertinent to this project in the decision-making, maybe related to the health and safety, maybe traffic, or any other pertinent information.
All of that was discussed last time,
You
right?
bring that to the hearing.
Okay.
Even though they check all the boxes as is, that's according to the original application and the 2 appeals. That's not to say people might come forward that didn't come forward the first time with information that might be important to the decision-making.
Gotcha.
Also, Frank, can you explain party status?
You want to be a part? I don't know how else to say it.
I can
You have the
put it-
right, you have the right to participate in the hearing as a party to it, and have the right to ask questions and present evidence.
But does that, are there stipulations to that? Like, do you have to live within a certain distance? Can anybody be party status? How do they do that?
Township, you have the right to participate.
Cindy, most of the time, in the zoning cases,
I'm clarifying for the people.
I was gonna-
I understand it. I'm clarifying.
for everybody else that doesn't understand it, you get to play lawyer in lack of sense of words. When you claim party status, you're a lawyer. A lot of your testimony and questions can be dismissed. The opposing lawyer does not have to allow you to be party status. If you don't show you live within a reasonable amount of distance from where the project's taking place and it's affecting you directly, you can't live at Russell Alley Park and complain about something. You can complain during public comment. Everybody has that right, but when you're party status, you are a lawyer, and the opposing lawyer can deny you party status, and they will argue it. It's not a guarantee, give me.
Okay.
Just so everybody understands that. If anybody else has a question about party status, I'll be more than glad to answer it right now.
That's all for me.
Thank you.
So what you said
Thank you,
earlier is applicable. You have to live in a certain distance,
It's not wrong.
right? That's what you're saying, Nick, right?
What's that?
You have to live within a certain distance, like if I live at the top of the hill. You can apply. I live at the top of the hill apartments,
You can-
and that's not close enough.
You
to-
can apply for party status, but the other solicitor or lawyer is going to ask you to be excused from taking party status because you don't live and being directly affected by it. In a zoning case, it's different in every other case.
Yeah, but this isn't a zoning case. In this case, and Frank can correct me if I'm wrong, any resident can raise an
Conditional
issue,
use.
an
Conditional
issue
use.
related to township code.
Right.
If there is, even though they check all the boxes,
Yep.
I mean, any resident can claim that you're, not following X, or not following Y, or not following Z. Whether or not it's found to be credible and able to enter into the record is a different story.
People can present evidence. Saying I
Right.
don't like it is not evidence.
That's correct. That's
Correct,
correct.
and
That's
that
not what I'm
al-
saying.
That also applies to our 2 firehouses, and the rescue squad can also apply for party status because they're directly affected and service that area. So no, it's not always just because you live around it.
In the original meeting, there was a concern about, sorry. I'm sorry, Frank was saying this. I was at the original meeting, and there was concern about the fire engines getting behind the complex. Did they resolve that?
That's a health, safety, welfare issue. It may be better addressed during land development than conditional use, because even though say if they're granted conditional use, they still have to go through land development.
Right, so they have to make sure there's
Right, right.
access and
So,
things like that.
Again, we'll be advised by our counsel at the time, we have to allow them their hearing under the law, and we have to faithfully abide by the rules that apply to it and render a decision based upon the evidence presented.
All right. All right. Sure, please, everybody come to the microphone, that's all. Everybody.
What happens after the hearing? So there's going to be this hearing, everything's going to happen, depending which way it goes,
There's a written decision which is adopted by the board. One side's not going to like it. Whichever side doesn't like it has the right to appeal to the Court of Common Pleas.
Okay, so then it starts again, kind of.
Correct.
Starts all over again. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Smith.
So in the original meeting, I believe the fire chief came up and expressed his concerns about, having to do that by man in the back and ladder, instead of the fire trucks. Now, was that ever put into, I guess, the forms to go up to Doylestown or whatever and fight that?
That was part of, we spoke to council tonight. That was one of the arguments that was made.
But the court didn't choose to rule.
Right, they didn't rule it out, didn't rule on it at all?
Ruled on one. The court only ruled on one of the issues that we presented, which was the first issue related to the 20%. They found that was sufficient enough to uphold the decision of the Board of Supervisors, and they decided to stop there.
Okay.
They did not consider the other issues that.
So there's still other issues out there that we can fight this on? That was my original question. What other legs do we have to stand on?
Additional use is one thing.
Right.
Okay? As Mr. Bordner explained, they check all the boxes.
Right.
Okay?
They do,
So,
right. But if the fire chief is having a problem with that, that's a health and
The
safety
fire
thing.
chief's testimony will definitely be admitted into the record.
Right.
The fire companies are directly involved in any building that is being put up in the
Okay.
township.
All right, great. Thank you.
All right.
I need to sign.
That's fine, Mr. McCurdy. State your name, your address, please.
Marge McCurdy, 431 Clearview Avenue, Trevose. So I have two properties, Elmwood Avenue, Clearview Avenue. What I'm wondering is, has a traffic study been done for Brownsville Road recently, like to see how much, there's an awful lot of building happening around here. So I wonder if there's a traffic study, because if I try to go out Clearview Avenue, I could sit down there for 10 minutes trying to get out of my street. That's going to be right here if they put it in there. So 30, 35 years ago, because it was getting bad back then, I went around to Clearview, Elmwood, Hazel, Myrtle, with a petition, got everybody to sign it, got businesses to sign it, and that's why there's a light at Elmwood and Brownsville Road, because the traffic was bad back then. So we don't need another light, like at Clearview to get out. We don't need another light where they want to put this thing. But if there hasn't been a traffic study done, somebody needs to do one, PennDOT, us, somebody. Because even though they're telling us that it's not going to bring traffic in, yes it is, and we all know that. They're going to have family coming over, they're going to have their own vehicles. It's just going to be a hot mess down there.
Wasn't that part of the record, that they did traffic study?
They did a traffic study. You'll have the right to cross-examine on the traffic study.
Okay, they did their, isn't that a PennDOT road? Like, doesn't PennDOT do a traffic study? Can't we get them to do one? Because I don't trust these people.
I
Because the
think
first time they came here,
Mike
Let
had
me
it.
just clarify something. So what they're trying to explain is anything that is listed under this use, under the conditional use, that is what's being talked about. Traffic study, the fire department stuff, yeah, you can air those things out, but they're just checking the boxes of what is listed there. When it moves past that, whether they approve it, well, it's got to go somewhere. It just can't sit there. It gets appealed or whatever. If it does move to the next step, most of those items are addressed in land development. Water, sewer, stormwater management, traffic, fire, everything is captured during the land development process. Make sure it complies with all the zoning ordinance. This is just about the use. So people kind of are going down the rabbit hole here. You're putting the cart before the horse. Like, we're addressing the use of the building and the parameters outlining that use specifically, right?
And that is probably why the court took the first issue, which was a use issue, and ruled on that and stopped.
Well, let's hope we stop it again this time.
So this is a one issue meeting?
No, I'm talking about the way the court decided the issue.
Christopher Cummins, 64 Herman Street. So I was just going to basically say exactly what Mike said. Everybody's just like put the cart before the horse so far. Okay. But I just want everybody to know that the fire departments are 100% against this, and we will fight this tooth and nail every step of the way. The way we testified before doesn't change. You will be represented by us, and we will testify, we will be party to this, and we will fight this. So just want to let you know that.
Thank you, Mr. Cummings. Anybody else out there in the public before we move on? All right, seeing nobody else for discussion, we do have a motion, we do have a second. We went through discussion. At this point, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries. All right, now we move on to line item number 3. Consider engaging EH Planning Group, LLC, Michael Solomon, to consult on the updating of Chapter 11, Stormwater Management Ordinance, Chapter 22, Subdivision and Land Development Ordinance, and Chapter 27, Zoning Ordinance. Do we have any questions, comments from the board before we move on to the motion? All right, so I'd like to put a motion on the floor then, to engage EH Planning Group, LLC, Michael Solomon, to consult and on updating Chapter 19, Stormwater Management Ordinance, Chapter 22, Subdivision Land Development Ordinance, Chapter 27, Zoning Ordinance, and to authorize the township manager to sign the documents. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Bordner. Any discussion from the board?
I just want to state that Mr. Everett's in our work session gave a pretty much captured the issue, feels that that there's no detrimental effect on the...
That's the wrong motion.
On what we're trying... No, we're doing... I'm sorry.
We're doing-
Well, I got 2 number 3s in front of me.
We do.
Mr. Solomon testified in front of us. Mr. Solomon testified in front of us earlier. We have worked with him before. I happen to be on one of those committees. He is an extremely competent person, and I think that we'll get the results and be able to make the type of changes that are going to preserve the township as the way we've spoken about earlier.
So I just want to make sure it's clear that Mr. Solomon's working on the subdivision land development and the zoning, and Mr. Everett's doing the primary work on the water part of this.
Right.
And stormwater part of this, but we're going to work in conjunction to make sure that all 3 ordinances work well together.
All right, very good. Any other discussion from the board?
And the proposal price was, it was a
Proposal price,
37.
I got it right here.
and how much was it? 35,000, was it?
Sheet. The payment schedule.
Yeah, it was
35,000.
35,000. The payment price for that is also 35,000. All right, so at this time, folks, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, that motion carries as well. Line item number 4, consider approval of minor revisions for slope stabilization of the Stonemore grading plan. Mr. Everett, sir, this one's all you.
Thank you, Board Chair. The consideration of approval for minor stabilization at the Stonemore Basin project, for some history there. They're trying to stabilize erosion issues that from the proposed basins, actually installed basins that are happening out there. They've tried to remedy them with soil, seed, and some erosion sediment control matting. It has not worked for the last 6 months. They are proposing to stabilize those areas with riprap stone.
And this was approved by the...
The conceptual plan is approved by the Conservation District with the the sensitivity of this project, I wanted to bring it in front of the board.
And thank you for doing so, Mr. Everett, we appreciate that. All right, so the motion would read to approve the minor revisions for the slope stabilization of Stonemore grading plan. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Peritano. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Castle. Any discussion from the board? Seeing none, all in...
Hold on, before you call, are we going to call? Does the public have a chance to
No,
address this?
you are absolutely right. I did say that they could speak about it. Anybody from the public tonight would like to come up and speak about this particular line item? All right, seeing none?
Hold on.
Yes.
You have to approach.
How are you, Mr. Hunt? Good to see you.
Doing good. Kevin Hunt, 167 Pine Hole Road. And can you describe? Oh, sorry. Can you describe the riprap and where it's going to go?
Sure. There's multiple areas throughout the project. They're mostly on the inside of the basins that were built, so it's concentrated runoff that's going into the basin that, for some reason, that lawn and meadow won't grow there. So they've tried to stabilize it multiple times. And as this concentrated flow goes into the basin or down the side slope of the basin on the outside, it's causing erosion. And like I said, they've tried to remedy it a couple different ways, multiple times throughout the last year or so. And the last remedy they're going to try is to put in riprap.
Okay, so no riprap on the outside of the basin.
There might be some riprap on the outside, but it's not consistent. It's not a stone armorization. It's concentrated areas where the flow is eroding channels. I have a plan. I can show you the areas after this.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hunt. Anybody else out there from the public? All right, seeing none, we did have a motion, we had a second, and at this point, once again, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, moving on to line item number 5. Consider authorizing the township engineer to prepare a RFP for the prospective traffic engineer to prepare contract documents and plans for the Green Light Go project. Mr. Everett, sir.
Thanks again, Board Chair. I'm looking for authorization to prepare an RFP for traffic engineers. The township recently received a Green Light Go grant for $630,000. It's to improve 3 intersections throughout the township, updating traffic signals, making them more modernized. As part of this project, it is funded by PennDOT. The way that the township appointed me as municipal engineer, there's not specific language to allow us to do the design. So the next step would be to go out to bid for traffic engineers to prepare the contract documents, plans, and then to go out to bid.
All right, Mr. Everett, question for you, too. How much time do we have? I know we can't sit on these types of grants forever. What is the time that we have to get this entire thing done?
So we sat on a kickoff meeting in the middle of January. The grant is for 3 years. They recommend that the design be done within a year and construction be done within that second year due to the long lead time of traffic signal equipment. So it's a 3-year grant. They push to have it done 6 months before that grant expires.
All right, very good. All right, so once again, the motion would read to authorize the township engineer to prepare a RFP for the prospective traffic engineers and to prepare contract documents and plans for the Green Light Go grant project. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Second, we'll allow you. At this time, any discussion from the board? Seeing none, Mr. Cates? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what the 3 intersections.
If you can, please come up to the microphone.
We want to keep it on the record. Come up to the podium.
Jim Case, 504 Orchard Lane. What are the 3 intersections that they're proposing for the grant?
I knew this question was going to be asked, and I have it, if you give me 1 second. So it's the Bustle and Pike and the shopping center. That's by the Kennedy dealership.
Okay.
The second one is Bustle and Pike and Bridgetown Pike. And then the third is Bristol and Brownsville.
Thank you.
All right. Any other comments from the public? Hello, Mr. Nieves, how are you, sir?
604 Philadelphia Avenue. My question is about red light cams. Why are they coming?
They're not right now.
They're not part of this grant.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Thank you.
All right. All right, very good then. So we have a motion, we have a second. Any other discussion from the board? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, moving on to line item number 6. Consider authorizing the advertisement of ordinance adopting the 2021 edition of the International Fire Code and the ordinance adopting the 2021 edition of the International Property Maintenance Code. Mr. Italia, sir.
Thank you, sir. This will be our 3-year update, moving the codes in the 2021 cycle to follow along with the building codes, which are also in the 2021 code cycle.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Italia. So the motion would read to authorize the advertisement of the ordinance adopting the 2021 edition of the International Fire Code and the ordinance adopting the 2021 edition of the International Property Maintenance Code. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Bowman. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Castle. Any discussion from the board? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. All right, line item number 7. Consider adoption of Resolution 2026-10, updating the Emergency Operations Plan. Chief Krimmel, sir.
Just need you guys to approve it so we can get it to the county EMA and get all updates done with PEMA and FEMA and all that kind of stuff.
All right, very good. Thank you, Chief Krimmel. So the motion would read to adopt the Resolution 2026-10, updating the Emergency Lower Southampton Township Operations Plan. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Perrotano, do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Bowman. Any discussion?
Sure. Just real quick for the public, this is what the chief has to put together. It's a long undertaking, hasn't been done in a while. The chief has done a great job working with his support team to bring this up to date, and hope that it's going to aid everybody in getting it implemented. And the chief has also come up with a program to do it on a more, how should we say, more regular schedule, to keep it updated on a more regular schedule. So we want to thank the chief for his commitment to being in charge of our emergency operations plan. So thank you, chief.
All right, seeing no other discussion from the board then, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, line item 8, we had already handled that earlier this evening when we pushed it forward. Line item 9 has been tabled for tonight. We'll move on to line item 10. Consider approval of purchase and installation of the grinder pump at Page Court Pumping Station. Mr. Coppin, sir.
Thank you, Board Chair. We're looking for consider approval of purchase and installation of the grinder pump at Page Court Pumping Station for a total of $20,143. This will be a 3-day project by the vendor, who will be replacing both our pumps with Piranha grinder pumps, and also include all new base elbows, stainless steel rails, PVC pipe and check valves, shut-off valves, emergency connections. All will be replaced and updated at this pumping station.
Mr. Coppins, I just have a question for you, because I don't know. How long do we generally get out of a grinder pump?
They're right there.
Well, the pump that's in there now is a Myers pump, and that's 16 years old. But I think that is long past its due. So I think these newer pumps will last a lot longer. We will be able, with the new rails, to be able to service them ourselves, our Public Works Department. We'll be able to pull them and service them when needed, which will actually increase the longevity of those pumps.
Terrific. All right, great. Thank you, Mr. Coppins, for that.
Okay.
So the motion would read to approve the purchase and installation of a grinder pump for Page Court Pumping Station from Anchor Pump, the lowest bidder, for the amount of $20,143. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mr. Castle. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Bowman. Any discussion from the board? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, moving on to manager's report. Mr. Galdo, sir.
Thank you, Board Chair. Just two items real quick. Township Cleanup Day, Saturday, April 25th, starting at 9 a.m. Walt and his office are looking for any volunteers that anybody would like to help out and clean up the township. Sanitation rebate has started to run. 104 rebates have been issued. $5,200 has been rebated so far back to the residents. And again, you have the criteria for that sanitation rebate. That's all I have, Board Chair.
All right, very good. Moving on to supervisors' comments. Mr. Bordner, sir.
We're just about a month and a half out from the Lower South Veterans Expo. It is for veterans. Most of our attendees are veterans, but I would like to invite everybody to come. A lot of people have family members that are veterans, especially parents are getting older, and when things arrive medically, then they need help. A lot of the children, including myself, wouldn't know how to help a parent in which paths and which angles to go down to call and get the services that the vet's entitled to. So we have a lot of vendors that will help you on that path, a lot of questions asked. We always have a keynote speaker who usually delivers a pretty moving speech. And we have light fare and soda for those that are just in for the coffee and donuts. So that is on April 11th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Senior Center. It's in the email and on our website. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bordner. I apologize about that, Mrs. Bowman. Like I said before, I'm just always so used to starting with my right. So
I don't even want to talk.
you are
Good.
you are up next, Mrs. Bowman.
I just want to thank everybody for attending, and I wanted to also talk about the snow. Please remember, we might be getting snow next week, so it is your responsibility to clean your sidewalks, get your cars off the streets. Please do not re-dump the snow into the street and shovel out our fire hydrants for your safety. There's a lot of exciting events coming up this year out of the Parks and Recreation Board. I want to thank them for all their planning of these community events. The two that we're most excited about are the concerts and the opening of the Lower Southampton Veterans Park. Also, just keep in mind, government only works when the residents come out and take part. This was great. You guys have a vested interest in what happens and how your community is developed. So I would encourage you to stay active, be informed, and start attending all these upcoming meetings. And just thank you and have a healthy and safe holiday. And thank you for your service, Mr. Gillette. That was the nicest complaint I ever heard. Oh, I'm done.
Are you sure? All right. Mr. Peritano, so you're next.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to say basically what just Cindy just said. It's fantastic to see concerned citizens come out and participate. I don't want to sit here in an empty room and just go through this mundane business. This board needs to hear what you think should be done in your township. We are going to do our best to try and protect your investment, which is your home. In saying that, as we discussed, some things may be out of our control. We will do our best to try and mitigate those circumstances if they do. Otherwise, this board is proud of this community, it's proud of you that take the time to come out and participate. So I just want to thank you, and I hope you all have a pleasant evening, and come on spring.
All right, thank you, Mr. Peritano. Mr. Castle, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's always an honor to precede you. I hope you feel better. Again, thank you for coming out. It's a boring night for us when, not that you're holding our feet to the fire, but it's nice to see who we serve. I'm not serving myself. I'm retired. But I have a devotion to this community, and I want to do the best for you. So thank you for coming out. Please sign up for the new Township app. My mother's 94 years old. She has an iPhone. And if anyone's older than 94, you'll get a pass. Okay, you go to the Play Store. I don't know what Apple has. You're going to get a little more information. There will be relevant emergency information on there. So please sign up for that. I am not an app guy. I'm not. There's too much crap on my phone already. But this involves our community. So I hope a lot of you are going to come out when we have a hearing within 60 days. We cannot form an opinion prior to that hearing. We need to hear what the residents have to say. And if it's not relevant, somebody's going to object to what you say. But, you know, we need your support on this, so I hope you will be out. And Mr. Chairman, our next meeting will be?
February 25th. Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right, very good. All right, and I'll just wrap up with a few things. Obviously, I want to thank everybody for coming. It's great to see a lot of smiling faces out there. Mrs. Reynolds, I'm talking to you. With that said, as everybody else has already stated, we want you guys to be part of this with us. The one applicant for, I believe it was 1448 Brownsville Road, okay, it's off the agenda right now. It might come back up. We will let people know. We want to hear your opinions, okay? With that said, a couple days, right? We have Valentine's Day, so I just want to remind everybody, men, take care of your sweethearts, okay? That's the way it works. The guys are supposed to take care of their sweethearts, whether it's a girlfriend, a wife, whatever. And my wife's birthday is February 15th. So Kimberly, if you're watching, I want to wish you a happy early 35th birthday. Wink, wink, 35th. All right. And at that time, I'd like to get a motion for adjournment, please.
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, motion carries, everyone. Thank you very much.
Aye.